moment is just like, let's go help Ray and kick this dude's ass, and just Palpatine just looking around going, oh shit. I really bit the thing this time. That'd be awesome just to see everyone back just one last time to help out the new generation, just show up, and no, we get a bunch of voices.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done more there. Mm-hmm. In general, they could have done a lot more. And I guess the one thing I thought after was that, well, that's over. And now they can move on with Star Wars and do something different. Because I do feel, like I said with JJ, he was kind of hampered by living up to the expectations of everything. And even at that, we're nitpicking a little bit. It could have been this, it could have been that. That's a smaller problem I have with it compared to some of the other stuff. It's a problem, but there was a lot worse.
No, I was just really underwhelmed, I think, by the ending, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess there was a lot going on, but it was confusing, and I don't know. I was just ready for it to be over, I guess.
Yeah, it was just so convoluted by the end. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Melt this motherfucker's face.
Yeah. And he gets killed by the same thing. They got his face fucked up in episode 3 and killed him in fucking Return of the Jedi. The same, like I'm gonna use my lightning bolts and they're gonna reflect it back at me. Did he learn anything? It was just like fuck it. It's the same thing, same death. It's just so lazy writing. Just lazy writing.
Yes.
At some point, you're gonna have to explain how he was able to rise the dead and create an entire. You think it's too much. Like they're in space. Are they all undead? Like all of his old generals? They're all like somehow alive now.
Anybody can come back to life.
Yeah, anybody can come back to life now.
Right.
Finn can use the Force apparently, and he can know when ships are like the right ship because he's got the Force kind of. Because it's easy to do that.
Yeah, there's other things. Like there's so many other things, and I hate being nitpicky. But I'm being nitpicky.
Nitpicky.
Yes. Nick Wiki. Them incorporating the games into it because they're supposed to, like the story from Star Wars Battlefront 2 was supposed to be incorporated into this game because there's 2 survivors out there who was looking for the Resistance. If you happen to play the single player game and the DLC. With Star Wars Battlefront 2. They didn't tie that shit up. They didn't tie anything up with Jedi Order, that game, or there's other things that just weren't tied up in this game, in this movie, and you're just sitting there just like what the hell's going on? Like, you didn't answer this question, you didn't answer this question, you didn't answer this question.
Just assload of exposition just floating around.
Yeah.
Or like Chris brought up the other day, Leia, they showed her getting Jedi training and then they didn't really go on to explain why she wasn't a Jedi.
She was a Jedi. She just...
But we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like when was she a Jedi in any of the movies? They never even hinted that she was actually a full Jedi until this movie when we saw she had Jedi training and then I guess she did some Jedi things.
Well, yeah, floating through space.
No.
Floating through space.
We knew she was Force sensitive. We knew that.
Well,
we didn't know that she had gone. It felt like another thing they needed to throw in there for some fanboys that needed to see that. It did. Like they didn't give it anything. It was like a 2-minute clip, and it said, "This is what happened. Here you go."
But why?
Because it just appeals to them. I don't know. Like what? Why exactly?
Yes, and that's like the whole movie. Like like you guys were saying, throw in this thing for like 10 seconds and make somebody happy, and it ended up.
It's a buffet.
But that's what makes the movie feel disjointed.
Yeah.
That's the lack of filmmaking. That's the problem with the filmmaking part of it. It's not just about that stuff being there. It's about how it was presented and the lack of context given.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't mind some of that stuff in being there, but it's like, why throw it in there for 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe spend more time on that or on Poe and his girlfriend or whatever to give me some reason to care about her. When she's saying leave with me and stuff like that, you could have done more in certain spots. Like pick one, go in one direction or the other. I felt like he went in both.
Exactly.
And I guess it goes to say you can't really, expect to make a great piece of art or entertainment without alienating people, and that's the thing that you're so afraid. If you're so afraid to alienate people with the work that you're putting forward, it's never really going to be deemed as something that's particularly groundbreaking or original.
100% agree with that. That's a really good point.
But it's
I
not.
didn't need groundbreaking. I just needed not rushed and like thrown there for no reason. It's Star Wars. You can do a lot of things bad, and I'm still gonna like it.
Yeah, I mean, what if I told you? If I went up and told you that everyone would sort of hate a film, like we talk about Star Wars, everyone would sort of hate a film, but everyone loves a TV show, a Star Wars TV show about a bounty hunter and a baby. Would you believe me?
Not just any baby.
A Yoda baby. Would you believe me? If you like, everyone hates the main story of how the Skywalker saga ends, but everyone loves the story of a bounty hunter and a baby. Would you believe me?
It's a Star Wars live action series.
Yeah, but the story is about a bounty hunter
As long as
and
the
a
story is
baby.
a story. Which it is.
Yeah, because someone is like, okay, we have a beginning, middle, and an end. And yeah, even though the concept is like the concept we laid out is with the films, a family drama reaches its crescendo, it's ending, and there's more family drama over here, more family drama over here. Like, okay, that sounds interesting. Okay, what about this television show? Well, pretty much the crux is a bounty hunter finds a baby and has to walk around with it.
It's Baby Yoda though.
Don't even mention his Baby Yoda.
Oh.
It's the concept of it is a bounty hunter finds a baby. You was like, what the hell we were talking about? What the fuck? And then you see it, and you're like, I really love the bounty hunter and the baby. I hate this family shit. That tells you how important story and pacing is. Because this trilogy, it wasn't thought out well at all. But this show is thought out very well.
It goes
It is
back
interesting.
It goes back to Game of Thrones when you said that they didn't have. Well, you know, I didn't watch the last season because I read the books and all that. But they didn't have the source material. They didn't have the story to tell. So it all got thrown together. And it was
They
not
had
good.
the story. George R. Martin
had small
told
story
him
points.
told him how he
Very-
wanted to end.
They didn't have all the stories in the story that make the show great.
But you still could have sat
You
down
could have done more.
and done more and not rush it. It was like they were rushing to do Star Wars.
Yeah.
That tells you something. And then Star Wars is rushing to be completed. So it tells you a lot what's going on with Lucasfilms. They're rushing. You rushed a very popular show and their showrunners to come over and write for you, and then they saw the toxicity of it and they left. And because of that toxicity, you get one of your previous directors who had success to hurry up and rush and make this. And now everyone hates it, but everyone loves.
Well, not everyone hates it. A lot of the people like it.
Well, there's people who hate it. It's dividing people. It's
Of
still
course.
dividing people. But
What are we talking about again?
we're talking about Star Wars. But we're going to.
This movie.
But everyone loves the show. It's a bounty hunter and a baby.
I know one.
Because you're not rushing them. Huh?
I know one person that doesn't like the show.
Oh, who? Oh, you?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I've never even watched. I've seen a few episodes.
It's actually very good.
You might like it, actually.
It's only about 8 or 9 episodes, 30 minutes
I
apiece.
was pretty drunk.
It's a
And
pretty
you
good
like
show.
Yoda.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
If you like Yoda,
Yeah.
you have an incentive at least.
Yoda's never really my son that favorite character. in Star Wars. But anyway, yeah, I think it goes. It just kind of like if you're directing like the third part of a trilogy, it just kind of sucks to be you because like it's always like you really got to like thread everything back together, and it's just like it like the same thing with Lord of the Rings. I really like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And it really like spawned like a love for the books, and after seeing that. And I think it's just because the second film in a trilogy, you have so much fun, just put people in just like the worst possible position. The third one, you have to pull them out of there. Things just end up just being overly like emotional and like bombastic with these third ones, and then it just ends up feeling kind of empty. I think the original Star Wars trilogy had the same thing. Like The Empire Strikes Back, like there's just so much tension and dread left over after that film, I can imagine. And then it's just the third film has to bring about a happy ending.
It's a lot of pressure to wrap it all up.
Absolutely.
One more thing I had to bring up. What do you guys think about Rey and Kylo? The kiss.
Oh my god. I perceived them as a brother-sister relationship type thing.
Yeah.
And when they kissed at the end, I mean, like, I didn't predict that. Maybe I should have, but I didn't at all. So that really took me aback. And I literally was like, ugh, in the movie theater. Because it was like, it felt so wrong.
I felt bad for my boy Finn. Like he can't get anything. Like yeah, Rose hitting on him, and she was like, "I don't want him."
He didn't want her.
You know, I think she realized who he was. He was like, that dude never stopped thinking about Rey. Like, I don't want him. I'm done with him. Yeah, he didn't want her either. Meets a new girl. She seems to be into him. She's not paying attention to him. All he wants is Rey. And all of a sudden, here comes Kylo Ren just right in there. Then he dies. So, you know, she's going to be thinking about him forever. But on the serious, yeah, it was kind of gross.
Yeah.
It was gross.
I just didn't really see any romantic connection. It was like
Me either.
forced connection.
No.
So like, why didn't?
Yeah.
No.
I guess it's just the way of showing
There was like a
affection.
bond,
Yeah.
like a real connection, but not like
Yeah.
I'm in love with you. Let me kiss you connection.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that bothered me a little bit.
A weird move.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, how do you feel the future of this of Star Wars is going to go? How do you if we were to come out with a whole new set of movies in a couple of years, what would you want to see in these films to make this better? So, Marielle,
Wait, you mean to make, like, so far what's happened better, or just like the
just new, like we're done with the Skywalker saga. Let's just go to do something different, whether it's the Old Republic or something completely different. How would you make these films
well,
better?
I think I've already talked to you about this, but I think the origin stories are really interesting, and I don't know that much of that is canon, but I think that's interesting. And anything expanding the universe, as you kind of mentioned, Joel mentioned, it's kind of boring sometimes when it's all the same characters, everything revolves around them. Like, I think expanding on that would be awesome.
Yeah, that might speak to some of the success of The Mandalorian. It's somebody you don't know anything about.
Right.
Telling a story of somebody. There's no other real connections to the old trilogy, but it's obviously set in the trilogies, the main trilogies, but it's obviously set in the same universe. So,
Well, it's between the original trilogy and the
I
sequel.
know, like time turns,
Yeah.
But it's
And like the only connection that we have is the Mandalorian warrior tribe.
Take the general pretense and just put it on a path completely of its own. Just make it a whole new story.
I feel like it's gotta be difficult to just go with the whole new story, but I know they recently made Darth. I think it's Revan. You know what that is?
Yeah.
They made
Yeah,
him
Old
canon.
Republic.
I feel like they're gonna go there with the Old Republic,
Yeah.
and it's gonna appeal to a lot of people, including myself.
I mean, yeah, there was the Old
There's a
Republic.
lot to
The game
explain
was
there,
very
a lot
popular.
to explore the origins that Mary was kind of talking about. Mary's got a thing about Darth Plagueis. She likes Darth Plagueis quite a bit. That'd be something interesting to go back to see more of, explain more of that. They can take it wherever they want, but there is an entire, pretty good amount of established, I guess. I don't know, canon, not canon, within the Knights of the Old Republic that I think would be interesting to go to.
Yeah.
Whatever you make it about, just larger groups of people, or just focus on.
I think it'd be wise if they
Make
took
it about movements and things like that.
I
You
think
can
it'd be-
infuse the force and
yeah.
stuff in it, but make it.
I think it'd be wise if they went in the Rogue One type direction, though. Like where they, like what you're saying with that, where
Like
it's more-
one-offs.
instead of just being. I mean, you want your main characters, but it's still good to have like that. Not just one-offs, but one or two, even a trilogy. But you need those main characters, but you need like a reason for all this to happen, and a well thought out.